The wind carried a damp chill as I stepped off the rickety bus at Hollow's End. Dusk had already swallowed the sun. In its place, a thick grey mist clung to cracked pavement and derelict storefronts. No lights burned behind the shattered windows. No laughter drifted from taverns, only that whisper of wind like a voice just beyond hearing. I tightened my coat, slung my recorder across my shoulder, and began down Main Street, determined to capture whatever legends lingered here. They told me about the Lantern Man. An old tale passed over campfires that once every winter's eve, a pale figure appears in the mist, carrying a rusted lantern whose light never fades nor warms. Some say he guides lost souls to safety. Others swear he leads them off cliffs, down to the river below where their screams vanish beneath the dark current. Locals refused to speak his name. I was here to learn the truth. The first house I passed looked as though it had burned. Charred beams stood like broken ribs. The walls still smouldered in places. I clicked on my flashlight and recorded the scene. Nothing but ash and silence. Then a soft footstep behind me. I spun around. Empty street. The mist curled and shifted, but there was no one. I forced myself forward. At the old chapel, its steeple bowed and cracked, I found fresh footprints in the muddy path. I held my breath. They were large, booted prints, dragging ever so slightly as if the wearer had a limp. I followed them through the broken door. Inside, the pews lay overturned, hymnals scattered like fallen leaves. The air smelled of mildew and something sweeter, decay. My light fell upon the pulpit, and there, carved into the wood in a child's scrawl, was a name, Elias. Elias was supposed to be the Lantern Man's real name. Legend said he was the village sexton a century ago, obsessed with guiding coffins to the cemetery at night. One bitter winter, a snowstorm trapped him on the hill. His lantern went out and he froze to death before dawn. But that was only the beginning. After his burial, townsfolk claimed to see a light bobbing between gravestones, Elias, eternally searching. I crept deeper, pressing record. The chapel's stained glass windows were mostly shattered, but a few panes remained, depicting angels with vacant eyes. My flashlight flickered once, twice, then died. I cursed, pounded its side, and it clicked back to life. That's when I heard it, a low humming, like distant singing. I froze. The hymn was one I recognized from my childhood church, "Abide with me." The voice came from the aisle behind me, echoing against stone. Each word elongated, drawn out. I swung my light. No one there, only empty pews, shadows longer than they should be. The humming stopped. Silence. My heart pounded so loud I thought it might fill the chapel. I took a step toward the altar. That's when I saw the lantern. It hovered in mid-air, 6 feet off the ground, its brass frame tarnished, glass fogged. A pale, sickly glow pulsed inside. The light beckoned me. Come forward, come closer. I wanted to run. I wanted to turn off the recorder and sprint back to the bus stop while I still could. But my feet carried me step by step down that aisle, anticipation and terror locked together in my chest. Just before I reached it, the lantern snapped out. Darkness swallowed me. I heard a rasping breath at my ear, so cold it burned. I spun, helpless, and there he stood, tall, gaunt, face ashen, eyes hollow pits that gleamed faintly in the black. His coat hung in tatters, his boots splashed mud from unseen puddles. In his hand, the lantern blinked back on. He spoke, no words, only whispers, like the wind through dead branches. Home, lost, find. His voice was harmony of many voices, some soft as a child's lullaby, some ragged as a dying man's last gasp. I raised my camera, voice trembling. Who are you? The whispering man tilted his head. The lantern's light danced across the chapel floorboards, revealing footprints traced in dark stains that glistened like fresh blood. He stepped toward me, each footfall echoing hollowly. The singing started again, building into a chorus of ghostly voices. My recorder picked up the hymn, layered dozens of times, overlapping. "Abide with me," they chanted, never pausing. The floorboards creaked, as if the building itself strained under the weight of unseen congregants. I stumbled back, camera clattering to the ground. I scrambled to retrieve it as the whispering man drifted closer. His lantern swung, casting long, twisting shadows on the walls, shadows that stretched in every direction, reaching out like skeletal fingers. I turned to flee, but the chapel door slammed shut on its own. The hinges groaned, the windows rattled. Light from outside vanished. No moon, no stars, just absolute black. Then, as suddenly as it began, the hymn stopped. The lantern's light extinguished. In that pitch dark, I heard only my own rapid breaths. I fumbled for my flashlight, found it, and snapped it on. The whispering man was gone. The door hung ajar. Moonlight spilled inside for the first time, revealing the chapel empty, save for overturned pews and scattered hymnals. My recorder lay intact, but when I pressed play, only static answered. I clicked through the files. No hymn, no whispering breath, just muffled noise. My heart sank. Had it recorded at all? I rushed outside into the mist, determined to catch the bus out of Hollow's End, but the street was gone. In its place was a forest path, trees arching overhead like bony ribs. The mist hugged the ground, thick and clinging. My coat was damp. The lantern glow I'd seen flickered faintly up the trail. And then I heard it. Footsteps behind me, slow, deliberate. I dared not turn. My boots churned mud as I ran. Branches whipped my face, roots tripped me, but I kept going. The lantern drifted ahead, invisible to my eyes, but guiding me deeper. The hymn began again, low and sorrowful. At the path's end, I burst into a clearing. There stood a single grave, fresh-dug tarp hanging over the hole. The earth was dark and wet. The lantern hovered above the grave, its light pale but steady. I approached, horror blooming in my chest. The tombstone read only one word: Visitor. I gripped the edge of the grave and looked down. The earth was soft. I could see indentations, my own footprints in the mud. I recoiled. The hymn swelled, and behind me a voice whispered, "Welcome home." I screamed and stumbled backward, tripping over something in the grass. I hit the ground hard, ears ringing. When I opened my eyes, the lantern lay beside me, glass cracked, its light extinguished. The clearing was empty. No grave, no forest, only the bus parked at the road's edge, engine ticking. The driver sat inside, motionless. I dragged myself upright, pressed record on my camera one last time, and jumped aboard. The bus pulled away, headlights cutting through the mist. I pressed play. The recorder hummed, then carried a single, faint voice. "Abide with me." I shut it off, shook my head, and watched Hollow's End shrink behind me. The mist clung to the windows. Somewhere in that haze, the lantern man waited, searching for his next visitor.